Hello my friends, and thank you for joining me. Today we make a mini Halloween journal as a design team project for Aall Create, and I will use many stamp sets, but I start with stamping the basic veggies number 448, Hocus Pocus number 570, and lighted florals number 709, all by Bipasha BK, and in the interest of time I stamped most of them off camera. Today we're using many different sprays, and I will change my mind and add or take away later, but this is the starting lineup. Mica spray stains in Crooked Broomstick, Iron Gate, Bubbling Cauldron, Hocus Pocus, Burnt Amber and Harvest Moon. And Distress Oxide spray in Black Soot. And immediately I also add Distress Oxide sprays in Rustic Wilderness and Wilted Violet. I have this clear image in my mind of windows and tags, so I create a frame and spray first with Rustic Wilderness and add the shimmering mica spray stains in brown and grey. Next, we're spraying one side of a tag with Harvest Moon, Burnt Amber, Bubbling Cauldron and Black Soot. For the other side of the tag, I spray with Wilted Violet, Black Soot, Iron Gate and Hocus Pocus. Thinking of color theory, I will add orange and yellow images to the purple side of the tag and purple colored images on the yellow and orange side of this tag. I want this tag to go down between two clear windows, so I create a second frame in cardstock and use leftover faux wood strips to cover the frame. I made the strips from a Tim Holtz and Sizzix embossing folder called Lumber, and I showed that process in my last video. To make this frame into a window, I cover the back side of the frame with double-sided tape and attach a clear piece of acetate. So, let's color some of the images I stamped, and my medium of choice for this is Distress inks. My first batch of images will go in shades of purple, but I start with the lighted florals and color the light in orange and yellow ink. For the florals, I will use the same 5 shades of purple that I will use throughout this video, which is Shaded Lilac, Wilted Violet, Seedless Preserve, Dusty Concord and Villainous Potion. I add the darkest Villainous Potion in the center of each flower and work my way out to the petals with the lighter purple shades. For the witch's hat, I use the same colors, and I start with the darkest, so I know I can preserve a highlight in the middle and on the brim, and I map out all my shadows, pulling them out towards the center with my medium shades and filling in the rest with my lightest color. I use brown for the belt around the hat, and I bring out my Starry Colors palette to add gold to the belt buckle. I use the same colors for my pumpkins, but I want variation, so I use those purple inks in different combos and more or less diluted with water. You can see that the first pumpkin has a more of a pink-purple shade, and the second pumpkin is more true purple. For the second batch of pumpkins, I use yellow, orange, red and brown inks, and then we move on to the cat. Coloring wise, the cat is more of a challenge, not that it makes me hesitate. I have no fear of doing it wrong. It's only paper and ink after all, but I start out slow with a wash of my lightest yellow mustard seed. Then I start making shadows with the orange rusty hinge, and then I go over those shadows with the dark orange red crackling campfire, and finally the brown vintage photo, taking my time with the details in the fur. Then I blend it all out with yellow and orange, my two lightest inks again. I use red and pink for her tongue and nose, and for her glasses I use those purple inks again. So let's work on that tag again. It's dry now and I place it in my stamping platform. Bring out Wow's Ebony Superfine Embossing Powder and a stamp set called Spooky Sky, number 572 by Bipasha BK. I place the stamp on the tag and pick it up with my platform door and treat the tag with an anti-static powder tool. Then I stamp in VersaFine Onyx Black ink, cover with that black embossing powder and melt the powder with my heat tool. Next, I flip the tag over and do the same procedure on the purple side and heat emboss those cobwebs and bats with black embossing powder. And if you're looking closely, you might discover that I stamped upside down this time. But that's low on my short list of concerns when crafting. After everything is put together, it won't be visible. My next step is to bring out chipped sapphire distress ink and darken those edges with that dark blue ink. Then I do the same with black ink, but I don't blend it in as far from the edges. Then I flip the tag over and do the same, but using distress ink in ground espresso and onyx black ink. It's time to glue my images onto the tag. Starting on the purple side, I glue down those lighted florals in yellow and orange, the fabulous cat and a couple of mushrooms. I do the same on the orange side. I glue down the lighted florals, the witch's hat and some mushrooms. This tag is meant to slide between two windows, so I make sure every detail is glued down completely so nothing stops the tag between the windows. So here is my simple little construction where I have glued several three-sided frames to each other. I start with putting a piece of acetate on my first frame and then I glue that three-sided frame on the back of that first frame. I decorate the frames with my colored pumpkins and cut off the excess hanging off the frames. I color the back side of the pumpkins black so they won't look too weird from the other side of the windows. Next, I glue the two windows with an opened frame between them together and make sure my tag can go in and out. Now I called this a mini journal, so I have to do one more page at least. But for this video there will only be 2 pages with 4 sides. I bring out dilution spray inks in chopped pesto, cut grass and black marble, and I also have 2 shimmer sprays in polished jade and mica stain in bubbling cauldron. I spray with water and then my inks from the lightest to the darkest, but only splattering the black marble ink. I also bring out fresh lime shimmer spray and splatter that yellowish green shimmer all over this page. It's now time to stamp my other images, and I bring out Flamazing number 617, Mad Tea Party number 502, White Rabbit number 506 and Go Wild number 656, all by Janet Klein, and I stamp them all and color them off camera because you have seen me color these images before. Next I have this little tag that will go with my second page, and I die cut both this small tag and the big one from a Tim Holtz and Sizzix die set. I bring out shimmer spray in Tangerine Dream and mica spray stains in Burnt Amber and Harvest Moon. I spray the Tangerine Dream first, then the Harvest Moon and finally Burnt Amber. I want some texture on my green page, so I bring out Wow's Hot Gossip Embossing Glitter, a stencil called Lots of Stars number 126 and an embossing dauber. I stencil through that stencil with embossing ink, cover with the embossing glitter and melt with my heat tool. Next I have another pumpkin image, and I cut off the tops of the pumpkins and place a flamingo peeking out from my 2 smallest pumpkins. Then I glue the cut off tops on the flamingos' heads. Then I do the same with the bigger pumpkin, but popping up from this one is that White Rabbit, and he gets a pumpkin top hat as well. I glue my rabbit and flamingo filled pumpkins onto my page, and then I start gluing down a bunch of those cute little hedgehogs all over my page. Next I have a few pieces of cardstock with a space for my little tag cut out, and I glue them together and glue them onto the back of my page. I glue down the signs saying right way and wrong way, and then I move on to decorating my little tag. I glue mushrooms, more of those signs, and a bottle saying drink me onto the tag. For the last side of my second page, I bring out Dylusions pink and red inks in bubblegum pink, pomegranate seed, cherry pie and bubblegum pink shimmer spray, and I spray my page with those yummy inks and let them run and drip. For my last page, I bring out a set called Mad Tea Party number 502 by Janet Klein, and I stamp the images in VersaFine Onyx Black ink. I am using almost all of my green distress inks to color the Mad Hatter, his teapot and lots of teacups. I smush the inks on my surface and color almost everything with shades of green, with the exception of red, pinks and oranges for his hair, bow tie and the odd teacup, and the dessert on a plate, of course. To add texture to the pink side, I bring out a favorite stamp called Scripted Thoughts number 595 by Tracy Evans, and I mask off with torn paper to break up the text and have it fade out, and I heat emboss every time with Ranger's black glitter embossing powder. When I have enough black glitter text, I start gluing down my images, starting with mushrooms that will be tables at this mad tea party. Next I glue down the teapot, the dessert, the Mad Hatter and a whole bunch of teacups, and I cut off anything hanging off my page. I put double-sided tape behind this pink panel and glue it onto the other side of the page with that cut-out tag sandwiched between. I painted the back side of the little tag black, and now I am using the sentiment "We're all mad here" and heat embossing it in white on that black side of the tag. Next I bring out all of my Aall Create washi tapes and choose the two most narrow tapes, number 32 and 33, and I thread the tape through the holes in both tags, and when I'm happy with my washi ribbon, I secure it with glue. I am not trusting washi adhesive since it's made to come off. To bind my two pages together, I am using a technique from Dina Wakley where I glue the washi in 3 places on one page, and on the other page I glue 2 pieces of washi in the space that will be between the other 3 pieces of washi. Then I fold them over on both pages and secure with glue over the spine and onto the other page. And now, this Halloween Aall Create mini journal is finished, at least for now. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope this crazy project is inspiring. Given time, I will try to get one more Halloween video out, because I have one more crazy project. Until the next time, happy Halloween crafting!